Hey everybody, how's it going? This is the Scrapper Tap podcast. Today I'm going to be going over and giving you my predictions and breaking down UFC Fight Night Lewis versus Oleinik. Man, it's going to be a good one. We got the Black Beast going at it. I believe with a boa constrictor. Is that what his nickname is? Oh man, it's going to be a fun fight. I'm always there to watch Derek Lewis go at it. Man, he's fun. He's a Texas boy. It's definitely going to be a fun one, and the whole card's pretty good. We got some guys that their names stick out there. We got Chris Weidman, Darren Stewart on there, Tim Means, Kevin Holland. There's some really good fights to break down, so we're going to go over that. But first, let me do a quick recap of UFC Fight Night Brunson versus Shabazian. And, man, I was wrong on the main event. Yeah, I was double checking. It is the boa constrictor. That's what I thought. Anyways, I was wrong on the main event, and there's a bunch of scrapped fights on this one. Yeah, it sucked. We didn't get to see Ray Borg. A couple other fights. Gerald Mearshart and Ed Herman. And then the Kevin Holland versus Trevin Giles. Giles fainted right before coming out, so they had to cancel that one. Luckily, they were able to give Kevin Holland another opportunity this week. So that's good for him. Very fun to watch. But, I think I went, so it was 8 fights, or was it 9 fights or 8 fights, and 1 was a draw. So I think I went 4 for 8. I was wrong on the main event. But yeah, man, Edmund Shabazian, man, he's still one to look out for. I think he's gonna get back on his train. Give him someone right outside the top 10, get his momentum back, and he'll be in it, man. He's young. I believe he's 22 years old, so can't look past him. But Derek Brunson, man, a lot of people slept on him, including me, and you can't do that to that vet. He came out, showed his experience, and he took it to Edmund, and Edmund went further. That was the longest fight in his UFC career. And, he has some things to improve, man, especially that gas tank. Some standouts. Jennifer Maya looked good. Got that, I believe, armbar on Calderwood. Vicente Luque took out Randy Brown, man. He looked dominant. It's hard to bet against that guy. I was correct on that one, though. Bobby Green looked really good versus Venata. I thought that was going to be a closer fight, but Bobby Green did what he had to do. Jonathan Martinez looked great against Frankie Saenz. He landed a beautiful little jumpy knee as Frankie Saenz tried to close the distance, and then he got Saenz out of there pretty quick. That was a good fight. Yeah, man, and Jamal Emmers, he looked pretty good as well, man. There were some good fights. Not too bad, man. So we're going on to this week. I'm trying to think if there was any controversy. It was that the Herb Dean stoppage again, man. I'll just go quick over them. Herb Dean's been getting a lot of crap from people. He had the little Dan Hardy situation a couple weeks ago, and then he had another one in the main event with Shabazian. He kind of looked like he waved it off after the second, but then he didn't. Like, it was a really light wave off. And then he ended up calling in the doctor, and they let him go into the third round, which he cut it. He stopped it pretty early in the third round after he was, Shabazian was taking some extra punishment he didn't need to. I like Herb Dean. People make mistakes, and I'm not saying this last one was a mistake. I'm not in that business. I'm not a ref. I don't, I know it's a hard job. I can only imagine. So, but there's controversy, and I know a lot of people are coming at Herb Dean lately, and yeah, man, let's just get it. The most important thing is the fighter's safety, so let's just get that right. Let's not, take anything to heart, and I hope Herb Dean and Dan Hardy can figure out that little situation they got going. Anyways, let's go. We're here for predictions. That's what I do. We're doing UFC Fight Night. Derek Lewis versus Alexei Oleinik. All right, we're going to start at the bottom like we always do. We got the minus 200 Erwin Rivera versus Ali Kaisi, the plus 160 man. And yeah, this is going to be all right, so I already made all my predictions. This is going to be a very, I'm taking quite a few underdogs, man, and I'm going to start it off really quick with the plus 160 underdog, Ali Casey. So I looked him up, man. He's making his debut, but man, he looked pretty good. So I checked out his record, and he has a lot of good wins. A lot of them are by decision, but they're against opponents with pretty decent records. Not too bad. He looked good in other promotions. And he's 8-3 in his first two fights as a pro. He lost, and after that he only, I think he won one or two after, and then had his third loss. After that, it's been all wins. I think it's 5 or 6 in a row, and 5 for sure, I think, in a row. And he's been looking good. He's definitely improving, and he's 29 years old, And then we got Irwin at 31 years old. He already made his UFC debut versus Giga Chikadze, which he's a good fighter. He went to decision with him, didn't look bad. He definitely has ways to improve. But yeah, man, I'm gonna have to take I think this is a really close fight, and I think it should be a closer fight. So I'm just gonna start it off early with an underdog. I'm taking Ali KC. And I'm going to go by decision. He has a lot of decisions. I'm going to take him by decision over Irwin Rivera. All right. Next, we got a really good one. We got the minus 400 Yusuf Zalal versus Peter Barrett, which is the plus 300. Now, we just saw Zalal, man. He looked really good. He was very impressive. I think he can, become a really good prospect. I'm trying to pull it up right now. So, okay, so it's not. Oh yeah, here we go. I'm sorry about that. So Yusuf Zalal, he's 9-2 for his professional MMA career, but as a UFC, he's 23 years old, super young. He just made his debut against. I'm sorry, it's not his debut. I'm totally off on that. But he just fought against Jordan Griffin and looked really good in June. I actually took Jordan Griffin to win that one, and he proved me wrong. And before that, he had a decision win over Austin Lingo, man. So he's pulling off these decisions. But the one against Jordan Griffin, that was that one impressed me. And then we got Peter Barrett. He's 33, so 10 years older than him. About the same reach. He has a 1-inch reach advantage, but he's making his debut at 33 years old, and so you hope that he's he's prepared. He's 11-3 as a professional MMA fighter. And you look at his topology, and it's not too bad. So I checked out a couple of his fights, but let me see. So he fought Sang Hoon Yu, win by decision, which is a 10-3 fighter, not bad. And before that, a 9-3 fighter, and he KO'd him. Zach Sabito, and 2 bouts before that were canceled, and after that he had a couple losses. So one's to TJ Brown. TJ Brown's a good opponent. He's 8-1. I know. I've seen him fight. I believe he's the one that trains. Let me look him up. I believe he trains with my boy Thug Nasty. So that's okay. That's a good opponent. Before that, he took an L to Drew Moraes, which is 8-0. He got knocked out by him. And then another 9-2, he lost by an armbar to Connor Berry. So he's lost to pretty good competition after that. He's beat some good competition. So, man, this guy's a good, solid 50-50 fighter. He's 33 years old. He's making his debut late. They call him Slippery Pete. I'm guessing he's good on the ground and getting out of things. But I'm taking Yusuf Zalal, man. I like him. He's a prospect, super young. I think he's going to get better with each fight. And if he does what he did against Jordan Griffin, I see him doing the same thing. I'm going to keep it rolling because I know Peter Barrett's tough. I'm going to keep it the decision. He has 2 wins in the UFC by decision. I'm going to take him to get another one. So I'll take Yusuf Zalal. After that, we got the minus 150 Gavin Tucker versus Justin James, the plus 120. So I like this fight, man. I think this is going to be a brawl. So we got Justin James. He's a little powerhouse. Let's see. So he got to 2-inch reach on him. He's 30 years old, 5'6", right? So he made his debut versus Frank Camacho, and he knocked him out in the first round. And I took Frank Camacho to get it done in that one. So, man, when I saw that, Justin James really, he put on, and he looked really good doing it. And that was just here in June on the Blades and Volkov card. And he looked good, man. He looked really good against Frank Camacho, the vet. And, I see him using that same power against Gavin Tucker. So this is going to be possibly a tougher test we got Gavin Tucker, who's been in there with Choi Song-woo. He submitted him. Oh, I'm having a little... Okay. He submitted him. So he's 11-1 as a pro, and man, he looks really good, and he's a big favorite here. Decent favorite, -150. But I like Justin James, man. I like the power that he brought. And he has a bit more experience and a little younger too, man. I'm liking Justin James here. So I'm taking Justin James. I'm gonna do a KO or TKO, and I think it's gonna be second or third round. I think Gavin Tucker is gonna look really good in the first round, and Justin James is gonna find a way to come back and get it done. So that's who I'm taking on that one, Justin James. Next, we got the +130, Andrew Sanchez versus Wellington Turman, the -160. Man, this is I'm liking a lot of these underdogs. I already took 2 out of 3, and I'm liking this one again. I like Andrew Sanchez, man. He's a real tough dude. Anybody that he gets in the cage with, he puts on good fights. He competes. It seems like he fights to his opponent's level quite a bit. You know, he'll step up when he needs to. Sometimes he doesn't impress me though, and it's a little confusing against certain guys. So he's much older than Wellington Turman. Turman's 24. Andrew Sanchez is 32. But I like the experience. He's been in the UFC since 2016, and he's been in there with the likes of. So we got Marc-Andre Barrieu. Let's see, that was in 2019. And before that, or right after that, he lost a decision to Marvin Vettori, and we've seen how good Marvin Vettori looks. He's definitely a tough, really tough prospect in that middleweight division. So, you know, that's a tough loss, but it is what it is. He lost to Marcus Pettis. He beat Marcus Pettis in 2018, and before that, he was in there with Anthony Smith. He lost by KO, but man, that's some great competition. And then we're going against this young cat, Wellington Turman. Like I said, he's only 24 years old, 16-3, so he's had some good experience. And man, he's been in there. His debut was against Carl Roberson, and I love Roberson, man. I love that. He's a tough fighter, and he lost, but he went to decision with that long fighter, which, you know, Carl Roberson likes to use that point type fighting, so I understand. And then he came back and beat Marcus Pettis, and that's a tough dude. So Wellington Turman, he's in there, man. He's been in there with some good opponents, and I think Andrew Sanchez is honestly not really much of a step up, but I think the experience is going to get it done. I like Andrew Sanchez to edge it out, and I'm going to take him by decision. I think this is going to be a loss for Turman, and I think it's actually going to help his career, man. I think he can learn a lot from it, and like I said, he's only 24 years old, so he's still young. I'm going to take Andrew Sanchez by decision, and I think it's going to be a lot of wrestling. A lot of clinch work up against the fence for Andrew Sanchez to get it done. All right. Next, we got the -250 Nasrat Haqparast versus the +200 Alex Munoz. So this one's going to be a tough scrap. If Kevin Holland wasn't on the prelims, I would say this might be the best, one of the better prelim fights. I think they're all really good, to be honest. But we got Nasrat, man. I like this guy. He's speaking of young fighters, he's only 24 years old, but he's 11-3 as a pro fighter. And in the UFC, he came in and he looked super good with the KO over Joaquim Silva, and then after that he took on the tough Drew Dober. We've seen what Drew Dober's been doing. He got KO'd by Drew Dober, but Drew Dober's making his run right now at that title in the lightweight division. So, you know, it is what it is. But he's good, man. He's a tough opponent. He's like a Kelvin Gastelum type of guy. I think his boxing is good, and I think he's going to be able to do what he has to do against Alex Munoz, making his debut, and it's a tough debut, you know, against Nasrat. But yeah, man, I'm going to make this one easy. And Alex Munoz is 6-0, so, you know, he could surprise everybody and surprise me. But I'm taking the experience and that youth. So I'm going to take Nasrat Haqparast to get it done. And I'm going to say, I think he's going to get it done by TKO. First or second. I think he's going to come out hot. All right, after that, this is the fight I've been waiting for, man. I've been waiting to see this guy fight again. We got Kevin Holland, and I couldn't find the odds. I think this was put on kind of late. Like I said, he was supposed to be on last week's card, but now he's on this one. We got Kevin Holland versus Joaquin Buckley. So I believe Buckley's making his debut. He looked like a wrestler from what I saw, the tape I did. He didn't look bad, but man, he has a tough task in front of him and Kevin Holland, and that's who I'll be focusing on this breakdown, because I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm taking Kevin Holland to get it done, and I think he's going to catch him with something fancy, man. I think a kick or a knee, but I think he's going to KO him. So we just saw Kevin Holland in May fight Anthony Hernandez and knocked him out in the first round. 39 seconds, man. He looked super good. And before that, he took a loss to Brendan Allen, man, by sub, but Brendan Allen's a beast. He's tearing it up, and you don't want to be on the ground with Brendan Allen. And then he beat DeChinko by decision, and Gerald Meerschaert by decision before that. That was all in 2019. Those are his most recent fights, and he's looked good, man. He's been in there with great fighters like Thiago Santos, tough dudes like John Phillips. He submitted him, and I think he's going to do the same thing. I think I'm going to say KO or TKO for Kevin Holland, but I could see him catching him and then getting some type of submission, like just a simple rear naked, some type of quick choke. So I'm taking Kevin Holland, and this kid's a stud, man. I hope he comes out with a big win, looks good, maybe a little flashy, and really put him on the map for the middleweight division. All right, after that, we got the last one on the prelims. We got the vet, the plus 110 underdog, Tim Means versus Loreno Staropoli, the minus 140 favorite. And man, Tim Means, he's 36, but he's 29, 12, and 1 as a pro. I mean, he's been in wars. I took him in his last fight against Daniel Rodriguez, and he got caught. He got caught on that chin and submitted. I just, he's a great fighter. I just feel like he might be a little shot, unfortunately, man. You be in these wars with these guys, and you like to stand. And, yeah, you'll go for subs every once in a while, but, man, you fell in love with he's a boxing stand-up guy, and he's in love with his hands. And, man, when you choose to fight like that, you're going to take some cracks to the chin, and his might be done. So I'm leaning towards Strapoli, man. He's 9-2. He's young. He's looking to come up, man. He has a win over Thiago Alves, decision win, and that's a good looking win right there. And then a decision loss to Muslim Salikov. I think that was just a little too much. But man, I think he's gonna do good. I think he has a shot to put his name on the map against Tim Means with a KO. But like I said, I think that chin is a little weak. But Tim Means is tough, and I could see this going to decision. So I'm gonna take Strapoli by decision. I went with Tim Means last time, and the way he got cracked that quick, it was a turn off for me. So. I love him as a fighter, but you gotta bet smart, and that's not a smart bet right now. So I'm gonna be taking Strapoli to get it done over Tim Means by decision. And now we go into the main card. Man, we got some good fights. We got a minus 170 Beneil Dariush versus Scott Holtzman, the plus 150. Yeah, this one's going to be a good one to kick off the main card, and I'm liking Beneil Dariush. His last fight, I did not take him. I think it was against Close, right? Jakar Close, and I took Close to get it done, and Close almost did, man. He had Dariush, he had him hurt, and I wanted him to press, and he did, and Dariush caught him, man, and he took over. He definitely has a chin. He's very durable, man. He's been in there with great guys. He's been fighting since 2014. Submitted Frank Camacho. Submitted Drew Dober. I mean, these are tough dudes. And Drew Dober, we're seeing what he's doing right now. Beat Thiago Moises. I mean, he's tough. I like him. I like him a lot. And this Scott Holtzman, man, he's a tough fighter too. And he's gonna come in there and bang. And if Dariush gets sloppy, he can definitely get caught by Holtzman. But, against Jim Miller, I thought he should have been able to get him out of there, and he didn't. He knocked out Dong Kyung Ma before that. and lost to Nick Lentz right before that. That was all in 2019. I like Scott Holtzman, man, but I just don't think he's at the level of Beneil Dariush. And I just can't bet against Beneil Dariush again and make me look silly. So I'm taking Beneil Dariush to get it done, and I'm going to take submission. I think he's going to crack him and submit him. Yeah, I think that's going to be a fun fight, though. Beneil Dariush to get it done. All right, next we got the minus 240 Yana Kuinski or Quintaskaya. Man, I heard someone just do a breakdown on her, and I can't say that name, but she's the big favorite. So we got Yana, and then we got Julia Storyenko, and I believe she's making her debut. Let me check it out. But so I think it was Yana that was in a real bloodbath of a fight that I checked out, just doing some quick research on her. But she's had a couple fight. I'm sorry. She's had a couple fights in the UFC. The first one was against Marion Renault, got the decision, but that's not saying too much with Renault. And then she took on the big step up in competition against Aspen Ladd and got KO'd. I think that was just too much too soon. And with this Storyenko girl, I believe she's making her debut, if I'm not mistaken. But no, she does have a fight in the UFC. I'm totally sorry. She lost to Leah Letson, but there was some fights that I saw in other organizations, man, that she looked really good. I don't know, man. I think this is going to be a war, and these odds, the minus 240 for Yana, I think it's too close of a fight to lean to Yana. So I'm going to take Julia Storyenko for my fourth upset of the night. She's the plus 180 underdog, and I'm going to take her to get it done. All right. The next one we got. All right, this is going to be a fun scrap as well. The plus 145, Maki Pitolo versus Darren Stewart. Darren Stewart's the minus 175. Man, so Darren Stewart, he's a big dude. I think we're going to see the difference in size when they're in the octagon, to be honest. I think, yeah. So this is a middleweight fight. Yeah, Darren Stewart's a little bit bigger, but the reach isn't there. So Pitoli's 5'8", Darren Stewart's 6 foot. Like I said, he might show his size in the octagon with him. But Darren Stewart's looked good of late. I think his last fight I actually went against him, against Deron Winn. I thought Deron was going to be able to take him down and do what he wants. But like I said, Darren Stewart is a big guy, and he had his way and did not let Deron Winn take him down too much. And then before that, he has a decision win over Bavon Lewis, and this is all in 2019. And then he lost to Edmund Shabazian in 2018. But that's we know how good Edmund is, even though he just lost. He's a really good prospect in the middleweight division. So then we got him going against Pitolo, which is I believe his nickname is Coconut Bombs. Like his name, man. He throws bombs. He has a KO win over Charles Byrd. I thought that was a big win. I don't remember who I took in that one, but I know I had both. I was using both of them in some DraftKings, and I remember Pitolo. I remembered his name because that helped me win a couple bucks on DraftKings. And he made his debut against Potter, and he lost a decision, and he came back big against Charles Byrd. So I think this is the next step up for him. But it might just be too much too soon. He definitely has a shot. He has that one-punch power, but I'm going to take Darren Stewart because I think he's going to make it his game and be able to push Pitolo up against the fence and, land some bombs. And if he does get on top of him, which I'm not saying that's going to be his game plan, I think it's going to be tough for Pitolo to get Stewart off. I'm going to take Darren Stewart to get it done. I'm going to go by decision, but this Pitolo kid's really tough, and I like him, man. If he gets a win, I won't be mad about that at all. And then next we got the minus 110 favorite, just the minus 110. It looks like I'll pick him. Omari Akhmedov versus Chris Weidman, the minus 120. Chris Weidman's back he's back in the octagon, 36 years old, man. So the last time we saw him was against Reyes, and he got dropped with, was it a left? I don't remember if it was a left or a right, but it was just a little straight shot, and it didn't look too overpowering, and that's what's scary, man. Reyes is a really tough dude. He has that one-punch power, knockout power, but the way he fell, man, it just looked like his chin might not be there. And I mean, I think that's what everyone thinks about him because his last 2 fights he lost by KO. Before that, in 2018, he lost to Ronaldo Sosa. So he took one fight in 2019, KO, one fight in 2018, got KO'd. And then in 2017, he had a submission over Kevin Gastelum. And, that's when he was looking pretty good. But after that, not so good, man. But he took some time off. His last fight was in 2019 in October. So hopefully he's rested up. But for some reason, I'm liking him here, man. I'm liking him here. So he's going to be going against a tough, strong wrestler with some power, too. With power. Not afraid to stand up and bang. And that could go against Weidman, like I said, because if his chin's gone, we'll definitely know. Omari Akhmedov, he fought Ian Heinisch, won by decision before this. This was in 2019. Beat Zach Cummins by decision, and then he beat Tim Bocic. I don't know why I'm butchering that right now. By decision before that. So, I mean, he's been in the UFC since 2013. He's been doing the damn thing. And he hasn't fallen off for sure, man. He went to draw with Marvin Vettori. He's a tough dude, so it's tough to go against him right now. But I like Chris Weidman. I'm gonna pick him one more time to get it done. I think he's gonna be able to, I think he can actually use his wrestling. You can't forget how good of a wrestler he is. I think he might have fell in love with his hands after winning the title, but man, his wrestling could really help out here. Keep Omari off him and maybe catch him. If not, just outwork him. What scares me is the chin, because Akhmedov just has to hang in there and land that one shot. But I think Chris Weidman's going to get it done. So I'm going to take Chris Weidman. This is basically a pick'em fight to get it done by decision. Next, we got the main event. This one's going to be a fun one, man. This one's going to be a fun one. So we got the minus 205 favorite, Derek Lewis, number 5 ranked heavyweight, versus Oleinik. And he is the number 9th heavyweight. So, man, this is going to be a fun one. All right, let's check out Derek Lewis real quick. So, he has fought in 2020. It was against Latir Tifi. It was a lackluster fight, but he definitely got it done. I took him to get it done, and he did what he was supposed to do. I kind of was expecting a knockout, but, Latifi's a tough fighter. Then he fought another really tough fighter, Ivanov, and he couldn't get him out of there either. It was by decision. And before that, this is all in 2019. Before that, he was KO'd by Junior Dos Santos. So I like Derek Lewis a lot, man. He's the black beast, and, he's the beast for a reason. He has that power, and, man, he has pretty good cardio, and it's only gotten better since he actually stuck to, a better routine, a better diet, and I think worked with, nutritionists to get to better shape and compete a little bit better. So I think he has a better gas tank than Oleinik, and that can really come into play here. But, we can't sleep on Oleinik. We can't forget what Oleinik has done. He's 43 years old. He is a vet. He took on Verdum his last fight, and I took Verdum to get it done, and Oleinik outworked him. He won by decision, but he almost stopped Verdum a couple times, standing up with him too, man. And then before that, Maurice Green, he submitted Maurice Green. And he's just a submission expert, and that's why they call him the boa constrictor. He knows how to get a hold of that neck. He knows how to finish fights. But, when he was in there with Walt Harris, he got KO'd in the first round, and that's something that can happen against the Black Beast, man. Derek Lewis is that type of fighter like Walt Harris. He's there to bang. He's going to throw everything he has at you. But Black Beast Derek Lewis can't go in there just expecting to knock him out super easy. I mean, Oleinik, he's a vet. He will get a hold of you, and he'll do what he has to do, and he's looked good recently. And I don't usually bet against Derek Lewis, I like him. I like him as a personality, and he's from Texas. I'll be going for him. I hope he gets, I'll be happy if he gets it done. But, man, I'm going to have to take Alexei Oleinik. I just like how he's looked recently. He's beat some guys I didn't expect. And I think Derek Lewis will have to fight more of a perfect fight than Oleinik will to get it done, because Yes, Oleinik has to stay away from the power punching, and he can't let Lewis get on top of him. If Lewis gets on top of him, man, he has some of the best ground and pound in the heavyweight division. He's terrifying when he's on top. But Oleinik, he can be from the bottom. He can choke you out. He could stand up and crack with you. He can just close the distance and get a body lock on you. He's a physical dude. He's a Russian fighter. Man, they use those big hands and just do what they have to do to get a hold of you and maybe take it to the ground or wherever they want in the fight, whether it's against the cage, man. So I see that happening. I see Oleinik. He doesn't have the best takedowns. He's not gonna just make this beautiful. He's not gonna shoot super beautiful and take down Derek Lewis. It's not going to be a perfect takedown or anything like that. Not a double leg probably, but he's going to find a way getting close with Derek Lewis and maybe fall on top of him or get something standing up. Man, I see Oleinik getting it done by submission. And like I said, I don't like to bet against Derek Lewis, but I think it's going to be a fun scrap, and I think it's going to be Lesky Oleinik by submission. Second or third, let's go second round. If it goes late, I see Derek Lewis having a really good shot to end it. So, if you're somebody that likes to bet live, watch it. If it gets past the third, fourth round, Derek Lewis he'll be a live bet for sure. So, man, those are my picks. It's going to be a really good card. I'm going to run through just the main card. So I got Beneil Dariush over Scott Holtzman. I got Storyenko over Yana. I got Darren Stewart over Patolo. I got Chris Weidman over Omari Akhmedov. And then I got Oleinik over Derek Lewis. I think it's going to be a great fight, man. And a great card. Be ready Saturday, man. Let me know your picks, who you got in the main event, and if you agree with me or not. Like, subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. Scrapper Tap Podcast.